the Coach and the Casual Miami edition. We've traveled out to talk to fighters, influencers, and learn more about this MMA game in Miami. We got a special guest, the one and only Sneako. He's been training. We want to talk about the training, maybe some other stuff we'll get into. Let's go.
I'll tell you what, we've taken our talents to South Beach. I'm not lying. I've been walking around feeling like LeBron James. I'm just walking the streets of Miami. But this is new for us. Sneako, how long have you been in Miami?
I lived here for like a year and a half. I wouldn't say I'm training. You know, I'm like doing some cardio.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm exercising.
You're training, bro. That's training.
It's been like 2 days. You know?
No, bro. I'll tell you honestly, we were
messing around.
We were talking about it off camera and everything. And I'm not trying to slob your knob or anything here, but what I'm saying is that you're an athlete. You're taking to it a lot quicker than you see a lot of people do it, but. You know, you are super new, especially the grappling. I'm sure everybody's throwing some shadow punching and things. Everybody thinks of this big tough guy. Yeah, I always walked around thinking I could whip ass. The second I went in and started grappling, I was like, oh my gosh, this sucks. I had a little 145er beating me up. What's it like getting in and actually having somebody put their hands on you and having to grapple out of it?
I mean, it sucks. It's like tiring. I don't like sweaty men on top of me. That's why.
Well, then I'll tell you what, jiu-jitsu's not for you because they love it.
That's the whole point. Like that's why the jiu-jitsu guys get mad at me. It's just like I just don't want to be like tangled up with a sweaty guy. Like it's just like I'd rather just be keeping it. That's why I said I like striking because then I can keep you the fuck away from me. Like I'm tall. I want to use my range. Just like get away, push you. Like literally stay here.
You're actually hurting Ramsey's feelings right now. I was like, oh, I thought he liked it.
I'm like crying. I'm like, wait, why do I want to roll around with sweaty guys? What the fuck's wrong with me?
To each his own, but it's just like that. That's why I was making that joke. And then all these jiu-jitsu guys are like wanting to kill me. Like, you better not step foot in my gym.
They're a bunch of nerds, bro.
Don't come to my dojo.
Who was that one guy? He's like a legitimate jiu-jitsu guy. He's like, no, dude, jiu-jitsu's gay.
Who?
That one.
What's his name? The coach at Jiu-Jitsu B team.
Yeah.
What's his name? The really funny guy.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I forget his name. Yeah, he's like, it's mostly gay.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching you yesterday training. You haven't even gotten the north-south position. That's just the worst with the 69.
I don't like the name of that.
Yeah. It's the gayest one.
I don't like the name of it.
So. And Ramsey, a lot of time when me and him are training, we'll ask if we can start in that position. I'm like, no, bro.
Yeah, B, you're the one that asked. So Kyle, we've been training, and I've been trying to teach him jiu-jitsu. And this is why I was wondering, like, from the beginning, is it like really like kind of just throwing in the deep water? Like, because he literally can't do a submission still. And we've been training like 6 months.
Yeah, it's rough.
Well, what can't you get? Don't you have to like...
Well, the problem is like one time Ramsey was like, dude, okay, just bend your leg like this. And I'm like, oh, I can't. And he would like try and pull my legs like, oh, you're just fat. You're not flexible. But it's tough
You're
because...
too fat to do a submission?
Yeah, like I can't even bend my legs that way or something.
He's too stiff is the problem. Like he can't like...
Because a lot of times like, you know, I'm a bigger guy, thick.
Bro.
But the thing is, I try to do like all power. You know, something Ramsey talked about with you is like you're more patient, less power. You're trying to be analytical about it. You know, but I just try and go. You know, and then I get tired as hell. Whereas you're like, are you consciously trying to take more time and not just try and blow your energy out earlier? What's your thought process?
I think I'm just trying to learn,
yeah.
You know, I just am learning. I'm just thinking about where my body should go and how I can get out of that as quickly as possible to get the sweaty dude off me. Yeah. So it's just like, how do I
maybe that's been my main problem is I actually kind of enjoy the sweaty dude.
Yeah, you pulled me in.
I haven't had like that thought like get off me. It's more like come close.
Yeah, that's your problem.
Sneaker's getting like, oh, get off.
I saw you sparring with that guy yesterday. You're just like laying on top of him. This would be the worst.
And he was getting mad because I was like, dude, no, jiu-jitsu, like neck kisses are part of it. He was like, no, get off me.
But I did not realize like how defensive. They're almost like they treat jiu-jitsu like a religion.
Bro,
these people they worship jiu-jitsu. It's insane.
Like when you talk about it and you get all these people, they're like literally like want to fight you and like do you have people like reaching out trying to fight you about it?
Every day. Like 5 people just hit my phone.
About fighting you in jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, all the time.
Well, you guys were like walking. You were like in the gym the other day, and somebody was trying to fight you. What was that? What was happening the other day?
Some guy was trying to fight me yesterday?
Or no, like 2 days ago, wasn't someone like waiting
outside or something?
Oh yeah, I forget. Yeah.
Some dude.
It's wild,
some
dude.
guy
It's
was
like,
like-
dude, let me live my life. Get
Yeah.
out of here. But so that's a big component. You know, I talk to a lot of these UFC guys that they spend their whole. You're actually doing it opposite of all these guys, right? They spend their whole life working on this craft, working on this, sole focus of being a fighter and not thinking about anything else. And then they get big, and now they have to learn how to be famous. Right? You're doing it the opposite. You've spent your whole life being in the public eye, and now you're learning to fight. What's it like trying to learn a new skill and wanting, because when you're brand new to something, you don't want people watching you. You want to be able to hone those skills because you don't want to be the brand new.
And now here we are talking about it in a podcast.
Right.
But it's good. I think it's a good thing to focus on. Social media is like such a circus right now. It's like a giant clown world. So it's been good to step away from that and just have something else to like put my attention on.
Yeah, focus on being new at something because you've been good at this skill that you have on social media for so long. It feels good to be new at something.
Yeah, I'm getting like real tired of it, the social media world. But like I think that the shift this year, like you're gonna need to have some sort of self-improvement with what you do and what you say. Like, I don't think it could just be gimmicky. Like, I was calling somebody last night. He's saying he wanted to start streaming. And he's like, I know everything about this one guy. And this one guy he's talking about is always, like, in the drama pages and is always getting, like, clowned on and is always being talked about. But I don't know a lot about this other guy, and he's extremely successful right now, and he's blowing up. Well, I always tell people it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. The same thing with training. Like you need to build good cardio. You can't just go there explosive, then you're going to tire out and you're going to lose the fight. If you just go into streaming, if you go into social media thinking that you just need to go viral crazy all the time, which everybody thinks right now, like you just need to get your eyes on you, you're going to gas out and people are just going to like poke fun at you. So you need to be thinking about like years in advance and not just like the immediate thing. You need to build an actual fan base. Or if you don't have a fan base, then you're going to gas out. And you only build a fan base by saying something of value and saying something that people can resonate with. It's not just being like a dancing clown for retail.
Right.
Yeah.
Big time.
And like that's kind of one of the things like, when you're training someone, everyone wants to learn, real quick. And then we've been doing this podcast. I mean, we're learning a lot about, the social media, like we're both dads in this world. And it's like the same thing. It's like a very consistent product is what people want. Like you're stream pretty much every day or
Yeah, try to.
Well, you were talking to Ramsey the other day, and you were like, "Yeah, I've been streaming for 3 hours, and they're pissed that I'm not doing it for 6 hours." I'm like, "Damn."
Yeah, no, I streamed so we were training 2 times that day.
Yeah.
I had like lawyer stuff all morning. Then we went to prayer. Then we trained. Then I drove home, didn't eat, streamed for 3 hours. 3 hours. Then I go back to the gym, and like on the way to the gym, the second gym session of the day, I'm like eating in my car. And then like I'm reading the community, like what they say, after, and they're just all crying that I'm not streaming longer. Like, why did he end the stream? He's so lazy. He's so like I'm literally like eating in my car like a homeless dude. Like, and they're just like, the fucking lazy guy. Ugh. Like these people, like legitimately, if you listen to the people who are really active, they're just the retards. And so you have to be like a retard for retards. Like you need to be screaming at memes with them for 7 hours, or like going on Omegle and like twerking. It's the dumbest shit ever. If you want to appease them, bro, because they're never gonna be happy. It's a Friday night. I streamed for 3 hours. Like I had a good interview and everything, and they're like they just like it's insane, bro. You can never satisfy these people, bro. Like
that's wild, bro. It's like fighters, bro. Like
but that's such a double-edged sword, though. Is like, you love that you've got the fans, but two, also it's rough that they feel like they've got claim to your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And stuff that pisses me. It's right. Like they want all of your time.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because it's like the antithesis of everything I talk about. Like I'm saying that we need to work hard. That you should go to the gym every single day. Like that you should talk to God. Like everything that you should keep your mind occupied on good things. And these people just want, like, if you're sitting watching a stream all day, you're not doing anything with what I talk about.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you're listening to me talk about working hard. You're like, but you're not working. You're just sitting. So it's pretty much, it's pretty hypocritical. Like, I'm telling you to work, but you're wasting time.
In order to watch you tell them to work hard, they have to not be working.
Exactly. You're being entertained doing nothing while I'm actually working streaming.
Yeah. That's it. Well, it's like kind of interesting too. What I've learned nowadays, people are all on computers though. and you can literally like people like, oh, I'm at work watching your podcast, and for me, I'm a physical job, so I can't watch anything, and same with you, like you can't have your phone in the background, right? When you're streaming, you're like 100% in, focused, and I think that's like kind of a big thing in our society now. We have like 10 things going on all the time that no one ever has a singular focus, you know? And is that like martial arts is kind of bringing that out of you, you feel like, or?
Yeah, I wanted to. That's why I think like Muslim fighters are so successful. They're taking over right now.
Bro, they're scary.
Like they're taking over so much to the point where they need to add rules and they need to kind of box them out because they're so dominant.
Like change the scoring, basically.
Yeah, like you're saying Bilal Muhammad not getting the title shot, for example, or
Yeah.
well, I don't know if you want to talk about it. But anyway.
I mean, you can talk about it. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, because we had Bilal on here. And
Bilal's the man.
yeah, he's the man, yeah.
I personally, listen, I think he's going to lose to Leon. We've been talking about this. But you saw us last night. We were talking, every time that Ramsey's got somebody, it's funny how opposite views we are. Anytime Ramsey would pick somebody, like, no, it's the other guy for sure.
I always pick the Muslim fighter.
Yeah.
It's so dominant right now in boxing and MMA. Gervonta, Devin Haney.
Yeah.
Islam Makhachev, Khabib obviously left as lightweight undisputed champion.
And like wrestling, all the best wrestlers now are from there. And soon you're going to see, since Jiu-Jitsu is so from Brazil and America, but you're going to start seeing these Dagestanis, these Eastern European countries start competing at Jiu-Jitsu, and I think they'll take over. Because
when you have that singular focus, when you're praying 5 times, like you're not going to be thinking about other things like that. That gives you a competitive advantage that you can't compare to anything else.
Yeah.
Like being completely focused on just prayer, like where nothing else matters, where you don't need to drink, like go out or, like get distracted by women or any of the other things that take you off of what you're supposed to be doing. Like that gives you that edge that's uncomparable. And I want that.
And I also feel like when I was in that zone doing everything, whether you win or lose, you don't care. Because you're like, I've done everything I did. It's up to God at this point. I'm just going to go out there.
But is there a slight advantage to being distracted by women? Because I'm like, oh, that chick's, like, I want her to see me whip some ass right now. Yes or no?
No, bro. No way.
Maybe against the other guy. Maybe against the other guy who's also looking for that woman's approval. But like, I always look back at that Conor Khabib fight. Like, that's the perfect example of somebody who's like the party thing, fame. Like he's a giant suit versus the guy who's just like stone cold.
And he killed him, bro.
And he was so like, Khabib was so like unapologetic, but like the guy told him assalamu alaikum, and then he said, Conor, congrats on proper number 12, and Khabib was like, hey, don't say assalamu alaikum and then congrats.
You can't say assalamu alaikum. Yeah. And same thing, like in the press conference, Conor's trying to get him to drink. Like, why don't you drink? Like almost insulting to the religion.
Actually, it's really, that was really insulting. And then when he was saying things about his wife, that crossed the line. And since then, now you see these Colbys, all these guys crossing the line.
Well, here's a question then. Let me ask, not to cut you off, Ramsey, sorry. But you're in the influencer game, and these guys are selling. Colby, he's playing a character. He's selling a show. Conor, he's getting his ass whipped, and he's like, it's all business, right? Can you recognize as somebody in social media that some of that is important to sell a fight and get eyes? Colby was about to be cut, and then he cuts that promo about, you Brazilians stink, you're dirty. Can you see the value in it, even if it's to somebody can be disgusting?
Yeah, 100%. You got to sell a fight. Like think about Movsar Evloev, like he's 18-0 now.
Yeah.
And like was he getting criticized? Like
bro, Dana said that he was in the most boring fight last night. I was like,
I did completely disagree.
That was one of the best ones. I thought Arnold did fucking great. Like
that was a great fight. I want to see I want to see that quote because I don't believe that he said that.
Yeah, he said something along the lines of like, oh, it was such a boring fight, and he feels sorry for the fans for that. I was like, are you sure you're not talking about the Bruno Silva?
The girl. Oh my gosh, dude.
The point is, but Movsar's 18-0, and he's not that famous, and he's probably not going to get. He's not going to sell as many pay-per-views. And I was asking, you're 17-0, but before you won last night, and I'm like, why aren't you bigger? And he said, well, he doesn't really feel the need to do the trash talking or do the social media circle stuff like that. He just does what he does. He treats MMA like it's a sport about respect
and love, and they love it, man.
Yeah,
I think that's why I love training with those guys. My wife loves all the Dagestani guys. Like I was on the PFL with him, and she would like only want to sit with them and be around them because she's very like conservative, you know, and like they're very respectful. You know, they don't touch her.
Here's my problem with it, right? Is that you're not. I mean, once you get to the UFC, you're there not for the love of the game, right? I mean, of course you love it, but you're not there for the love of the game because you could be in any organization for the love of the game, right? You're in the UFC to make money for you and yours, for your family. It's your responsibility to set up your family and your people around you as best as possible, right? So don't you think there's some responsibility to try and sell a fight? Colby can't walk around outside. He's sacrificed his entire life, but his family...
I've seen him walk outside. I've seen him outside.
Right, but he has a hard time, or Strickland, like he'll say he won't go out because he's hated because of the things he says. But what he's doing is, don't you think there's some kind of, as much as it's gross the things they say, and sometimes they do go too far, it's some kind of responsibility to try and get themselves the most money possible so they can set up them and theirs.
I guess
it's an ethical question.
I completely respect like Mobstar's decision to not like compromise his morals for money.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's more important. You know, you can't buy that back.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
Once you sell it, it's gone.
Gone.
There's no return policy in your ethics.
Yeah, that's true. Oof.
Yeah, but I mean, like Habib did a great job selling fights, and he never trash talked.
Yeah,
he would
but
just
he
be
did
like,
a great job selling fights because the other side, because he was stalwart, and the other side was talking shit.
yeah, but also like. I think the way he was just be like, I'm gonna smash you. Like
Yeah.
it was like,
Yeah, that's true.
He would tell everyone. He's the one that invented that saying, you know, I smash everyone. And like Hazmat stole that. And I think he did a really good job. Like he wasn't talking shit. He was just literally saying, I will smash every single
I'm
person.
going to change his face.
Yeah. And
Send
Hazmat.
location.
Yeah.
I'll take him to deep waters, or he will discover himself.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Islam Makhachev is selling fights.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the number one.
He's number one. Does he ever do trash talk? I don't think so.
No, just a great fight.
And he's actually funny.
Yeah, he's fine. You just sell it all based off of your ability.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's how you get more people interested in it. Over the past couple of years, we were talking about this yesterday. You see a lot of people boo when they start grappling.
Yeah.
Because you get like if you appease the retards, okay, I'm going to stand up and just get beat up and get bloody for these fucking idiots in the stands who are drunk, who don't care about me. Yeah. No, I'm going to win the fight because this is part of MMA. I'm going to learn how to grapple.
And your coach cares and he wants to see you get out like in a healthy way. Same with that Dagestani. They're all like family. Like they don't want to see anyone get hurt.
Yeah, look, Habib never bled in his whole career because he was doing it properly. He was thinking about the marathon. Let me win every single fight. Let me do it the right way. Let me gas these people out. Like you're just playing the game. And then maybe in the moment, like they'll be booing. But long term, look how we're still speaking about him, even though he's been retired for years.
And they booed the shit out of him through his career before he was champ.
Exactly. So I think that it's not really over the long term, like you're going to be favored eventually. Like they'll look back and favor your career more. Like Mobstar's going to be looked at, but in the moment, like the drunk retards, the people, you're not going to make those people happy. But you can't ever try to make those people happy because they're never going to be happy. They're miserable, retarded losers.
It's like the crowd, the Roman crowd, man. At the end of the day, they're like, they want to see you killed and they want to see you die. You know, that's all they care about.
Yeah, and I see that, but I think it cuts some way for some people. But look at DJ, right? Demetrius Johnson, greatest fighter of all time.
Yeah.
Right? But he was just kind of a nerd who didn't sell any fights, and he got booted. And he was the greatest fighter of all time.
He didn't get booted. He got a better offer.
He got traded.
Yeah, he did get traded. That is true. They did trade him.
For Funky Ben Askren.
Yeah, the ONE FC and UFC traded DJ for Askren.
Ben Askren.
When Ben Askren came over and fought Masvidal, remember?
Right.
Yeah, and so that was like the big thing. So you are right. That is true. They did trade him
but that
away.
kind of leads me into this is that.
But he's making more money.
Yeah.
He made more money at
It's
one.
not a downgrade.
Yeah.
Ben Askren, like, you know.
Ben Askren goes afterwards.
Yeah, it was a downgrade for Ben.
Give him the
Direct quote for Sneako. Dana said, "The least fun fight anybody's ever seen."
So that's
What is he talking about?
Yeah, that's what it was. And you're like,
That's our producer off camera. Just so everybody hears it saying, direct quote from Dana is that the least fun fight that anybody's ever seen talking about.
Arnold Allen versus Movsar Evloev. Dana, like, no disrespect. That's just not true, man.
it's not true. Yeah.
How are you saying that, like, everybody tuned out and, like, everyone's soul slowly got older watching those two lesbians fight?
Yeah.
That aged me by 5 years. That was the worst fight of ever. Like, that was bad, man.
We almost went home, man. We were like,
We're getting drinking. Let's just go all time.
I almost didn't want to watch Strickland Duplessis because of
dude, yeah, that was
girlfriend.
rough. So for him to say that, I wonder like where that comment came from.
I don't know. That fight had everything: grappling. It had striking.
It's a legal controversy, the knees, and then Mosvar, like a freaking badass, says, "No, I'm okay." He could have sat out and won the fight. You know that if he would have said, "No, I don't want to continue," they would have gave him the fight because he was up in scorecards and all that. But the Savage goes, I'm gonna go out there.
I personally agree that fight sucked because I lost $100 to Ramsey. But
There we go. Hey, I'm always betting on the Muslim fighter.
Sorry.
Stealing his money.
Kind of country.
yeah, paradoxically, you're betting on the Muslim fighter. It's haram, my friend.
Yeah, that is true. There's a little paradox.
But
That is a paradox. Damn it. All right.
Here's one thing I want to talk about, though, is that, listen, let's just not even avoid it. There's a lot of influencer drama that goes back and forth. We talked about it, but you've been involved in some influencer drama that a lot of people will say that's why you're doing training. We know you're not, but talk to us about the Mikey thing. What's going on?
Oh, I'm not really training, It's just like we just like messed around, played around,
But like, no, you're like working
It's like
out
2
for fun.
days. It's just like working out for like 2 days, and I'm here like, hey, so why are you in camp? Like, nah, it's just I think it's about time. I think this is you're not gonna get. I had a realization like I'm not gonna get my youth back. I'm 25, and the drinking, the clubbing, all the other stuff that people kind of trade their youth for, it's always gonna be there. Like you can be I've seen people in LA and all the other influencers, like they're like 40 years old and they're still clubbing, partying, doing all that. So it's like, well, you're not gonna age out of being able to drink at a bar.
Yeah,
you can do that whenever. But yeah, I am gonna lose my youth, so I might as well use it to the best of my ability. And I think that's that's becoming extremely strong and getting my cardio right. Learning everything about MMA.
Yeah, but like this Mikey guy. I mean, I don't like we said, we're like
You'll never get sanctioned. To be honest, you've got like 8 inches on the guy.
Yeah, I don't think it ever.
Well, I mean, there's no height class.
Yeah,
but
it'd be way.
People always say that. Oh, you got a height. That's not a thing.
But if you're gonna fight, you just be like,
well, he fights at 125 is what he competes at.
125, really?
I think it's like 135.
what do you walk around at?
I think 165, 170.
Yeah.
And have you ever done a weight cut before?
No.
Oh, 50 pounds.
Well, he would have to move out. But the only thing is like
We can meet at 145 if hypothetically.
yeah, hypothetically meet there. But then the only problem would be like you'd have to go to like Saudi Arabia or something like that. I think to get it
Because they also
approved.
wouldn't sanction because he's a legit jiu-jitsu guy, so it would be a problem. People wouldn't want you walking in with him as well because he's been doing it for so long. If it were hypothetically to happen, do you have some confidence? What's your thoughts on it?
You know what I'm really surprised about is that a 5-time champion, like everyone's like, oh, you're like fucking pussy, take the fight. I'm like, bro, a professional fighter called out a streamer.
Yeah.
Like I never claimed to be, I'm just learning,
Yeah.
And everyone's like, yeah, dude, I think I got my money on Mikey. Like, yeah, duh.
Yeah.
Is that really something controversial?
Yeah.
What did you think was going to happen? The champion versus the non-professional?
Yeah, that's like people are like tweeting me like, you really think I'm like, bro, first off, we're having fun. Like we're just training and like, honestly, you just want to learn how to train, And then I'm like, if Mikey didn't win that would be the
A bigger indictment on Mikey than it would be props for
be more embarrassing. But this is a shout out though. Part of the reason I wanted to come because I just can't stand jiu-jitsu, bro. I can't stand heel hookers, especially.
And Ramsey's a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and I just can't stand it because like I even saw his training video. He like punches someone, takes him down, and falls down to a heel hook. I'm like, bro, if I was in a street fight, I would get up and just eye gouge you and then be like over, or grab you by your hair and stomp it.
How long does it take to get a black belt in jiu-jitsu?
Like 15 years. 10
You've been doing
years.
jiu-jitsu for that long?
I started jiu-jitsu when I was like 16, 17. I was wrestling, and I started doing catch wrestling, which is kind of the same. And then when I was like 18, 19, I was like full-time fight. I was pro fighter at 19, training full-time. And then I never wanted a belt because I was a jiu-jitsu hater, and I was a white belt beating up black belts. And then I realized for business, it's like people were like, are you a black belt in jiu-jitsu? And you're like,
how many times a week do you have to train in those years to get the black belt?
So I got my black belt from Jake Shields, another mutual friend. Dude, he made me train 2 times a day, pretty much every day. Like he never would let me.
2 times a day, every day. For how long?
Probably like 10 years, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, so I've been doing it for 6 months off and on, and you don't even get a roadmap in your head, right? The thing is,
Until a year.
You'll be going with Ramsey. I'll be going with Ramsey, right? And he'll be and I'm bigger than Ramsey, right? Better looking, smarter, and he'll be like doing like twisting me into a pretzel and talking to his wife about the grocery list. I'm like, dude, can you at least give me the respect enough to focus on whooping my ass?
I'm like, hey, babe, make sure you do this, and he's like,
I'm like,
look at me.
Yeah,
Insane.
it's
So
wild.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's why it like blows my mind that, you know, we train like twice and then you're like, oh, so you're training. It takes 10 years twice a day to get a black belt.
Well, if you want a real black belt, some of these other karate schools.
Unnamed, if you pay enough money, you can get a black belt anyway.
Yeah, you get a black
Some
belt.
places.
But like from like our system, yeah. And Jake like wants people to know how to fight. Like he doesn't just give out a black belt if you've never been punched in the face, you know?
Did you
And that's
roll
a
with
big
Jake
thing.
when he was here before?
No, I met him in Vegas.
Okay.
Did you roll with him?
Yeah.
Bro, the dude's a freak, right?
He's strong. Like I rolled with Jake, and he's fast, but he's just relentless. Just push. It's he's also like, this was like on day 3, and he hadn't showered, so he stank. I'm like, oh, Jake, please stop beating me.
Yeah, he's a
His
hippie.
cardio is really good. Like I think he's like 45. Like it really
Yeah.
surprises me how much like he doesn't. I think he could still compete.
Yeah. I mean, he does a little jiu-jitsu competition. He's not officially retired, but he's like, I don't want to fight unless it was like $1 million
Yeah.
paycheck, he said. But I would love to see, like, because he competed against GSP and do all these different ones. You know, I like to watch that as like a great way to not take damage. You know what I mean? Like, the dude doesn't need to get punched in the face anymore. He's fought the best guys in the world, and he just needs to train. And honestly, he's a great coach. Like, a lot of his guys, you know, the Basharat brothers, the Afghan
Yeah,
brothers.
they
that
just
are
won.
undefeated. Yeah, he coaches those.
More Muslim fighters, right?
Yeah, there we go. More
bro.
of them, bro.
Non-stop. Like,
yeah,
it's
they
just-
are nasty.
The dominance, man, is undeniable. So it's just
So you think it really is like a competitive edge now?
it's clearly the winning team.
Yeah. I mean, Muhammad Ali, look at all these guys.
Mike Tyson, every single one, man. It's just the winning team.
Abdul Aid,
Abdul
formerly
Aid,
known as
Gervonta,
Yeah,
yeah.
Gervonta Davis.
Hey, man.
Hey, maybe we'll convert.
That can't be
Kyle
a
over.
coincidence.
Yeah,
You know?
if I convert, maybe I'll start whooping some ass.
Yeah, maybe we'll get good at fighting, bro.
But Mormons and Muslims, we both got a lot of the same stuff. We're both not allowed to do anything.
Yeah. So they train hard.
Multiple wives too, right?
Yeah.
When we get to the next life, we're gonna get so many wives. It's crazy. So yeah, we're kind of in the same boat.
Yeah. You know what though? Not just like Muslim fighters. I will say my best fighters are ultra religious.
And just disciplined.
Yeah, and not even that though. Like when we go out to the fight, like I have a couple Christian fighters, and they're very like Mormons, like some of the ones and I'm like, yeah, say your prayer and get ready to fight. And I feel like when someone's religious, it's the same thing as like why the Greeks and the Romans and all of them were like the greatest, warriors. Same with like what's it called, like 300.
Yeah, Spartans,
because they were more excited about their death than they are about like when you really believe in a
Eternal
religion.
reward.
Yeah, your internal reward. Like jihad, like you'll go to heaven no matter what, and like same with like being a Mormon, like you believe you're going to heaven no matter what. And yeah, right. And you believe that and you go out and
you make sacrifices now for a better reward later. And that's the same thing with anything. Is like,
Yeah.
I'll make the sacrifices now to be able to have something better tomorrow. Same with fighting. Like I'll make the sacrifices. I'll eat real lean. I'll do all this training so that later I can be in a better position.
yeah, and I
And
think
to be honest, it doesn't even feel like sacrifices after, for me, we go out to the restaurant. I don't feel like drinking. It's not that I'm giving up drinking. I just don't want to, you know what I mean?
yeah, you just don't drink, you
Yeah.
know. But then legitimately that is like sacrifice. And I mean like in your business, bro, like you're a nasty entrepreneur and you're willing to sacrifice right now to go like travel and get all your business.
What sacrifices do you feel like you're making now, and what are you trying to build long term? In general,
Sacrifices. I think the big shift was like not even seeing it as a sacrifice. Like only taking. I used to work for like 6 hours and then get high.
Yeah.
Because they're like, okay, I earned this. Mm-hmm. I earned turning off my brain, going to the strip club, getting high, like drinking, like, yeah, I worked hard. And I would kind of like celebrate every day because I got the work done. Because for such a long time, I was a lazy, just like sloth, So just for the fact of me getting work done was an accomplishment. But now that it's become so routine, it's like, I just want to do more work.
Yeah.
I just want, I get my reward is succeeding even more. It's just I want to have it as a compound effect. So I don't really see it as a sacrifice now. That's just the only thing that I really enjoy doing.
I bet that's like how it is when you're a fighter. Is like when you're doing your first weight cut, it's like, oh, this sucks. But when you're on your 20th, it's like, oh, this is part of doing
No, weight cutting never gets easier. Yeah. I would say though, on the training, like you get out of a good training session. Like literally the other day when me, you, and Shane sparred together, I was like, dude, that was better than getting high. I left there. I was like, hell yeah, that was fun, bro. I had I don't know. Do you feel that at all?
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
I don't feel like it's a sacrifice because I actually love doing
enjoyable.
it. Yeah. I don't know. Like, are you falling in love with training?
Yeah, I just love the process of getting better and improving.
Yeah.
Like that's where I really get high now is I don't see it as sacrificing my time. It's just the best use of it.
Yeah.
And I think when I shifted that, when I started understanding that, that's when I stopped seeing work as work, and it's just is what I get to do.
Yeah.
So we talk a lot about, and then we will get here to the fights from last night, but we talk a lot about, fighters needing to sell fights and beefs and maybe even some manufactured beefs. You being in the world that you're in, a lot of influencers, do you feel like you've made a shift away from beefs? I know there was a beef with Penguin, right? And a couple different guys. Do you feel like that stuff's kind of just in the background for you now, or how does that whole world work? I mean,
Did you Google that?
no, I saw a video of it.
I don't care about any of that
Right.
stuff. Like, to be honest with you,
Yeah, just kind of like it's just done with.
it's just noise. Like,
Yeah.
it's all a show.
Love that. Okay, let's get into 297. Let's break it down.
Yeah, dude. What did you think about the main fight? Drickus won.
I thought he won. I thought it was pretty obvious that he won. I'm really surprised like that. Everybody was saying like it's rigged. Oh, the woke agenda.
Yeah.
Oh, because he called out the LGBT. I'm like, wait, didn't he fucking isn't he a Zionist?
Yeah,
I mean,
right?
he was defending Israel, that's if you're gonna talk about woke, that's what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So he's on their side in a lot of ways. You could definitely say that.
I was actually Drickus is our boy. We had him on the podcast. I had some money on my boy Drickus. Thank you, Shane. Appreciate you, big dog. But honestly, I was shaking the whole time because it was it felt a lot. I didn't think it was close at all, except for one or two rounds. Drickus even admitted it was close.
He said he lost the first round.
Yeah. And to be honest, I actually think he won the first. He lost the second because that's when Strickland opened his eye up. Okay. And then I think he won 3-4, and I think Strickland won 5. But he was just putting so much pressure on. Dana said he thought that Strickland won. I didn't even see that close. And then when it went to split decision, I was like, how is that possible?
Yeah. I looked at the scorecards. So everyone had Strickland 1 and 5. That was all across the boards. But the only one was round 3, which I thought was weird. I don't think he won round 3.
3 was dominant. That's when he took him down a couple of times.
That's what I was kind of saying. It was kind of all over, bro. And then for Dana to say that was a bad decision, I don't know, man.
So you think GSP is right in that there shouldn't be rounds? It should just be for championship fights. It should just be 25 minutes straight.
Yeah, I agree. I think it should be.
I don't think any fight would ever go to 25 minutes.
Yeah, bro.
You need that minute.
Sakuraba, Helio Gracie, 45 minutes.
That was a different time, though.
Yeah.
And that's when they could.
They went 45 minutes?
Yeah. That's like the first fight was 45 or 50 minutes.
Yeah, but how much of that was just laying in each other's guards?
That's true. Okay, yeah. It was like 45 minutes, probably like 43 minutes of his laying down. Yeah.
It'd basically be like watching Gordon Ryan, it's a jiu-jitsu competition.
When he did that 3-hour match and just Gordon Ryan does sub only, and it was like a 2-hour or 45 minutes of him smashing this dude until he quit.
I don't care how much you enjoy the sport of jiu-jitsu or grappling. If I have to watch a dude on the ground for 40 minutes, I'm going to go jump off.
But I think it should still be within 15, 20 minutes. No ref at all. I know it sucks sometimes, but when the ref stands them up, that's breaking everything up. Like I was telling you last night, I've been in a fight where I was on someone's back and then the round ended and I was like, damn it. And I got a body triangle in and then I ended up losing the fight. And you're like, dude, the round, and literally you go to the corner and it takes away the martial artist because the coach goes, here's the hole, here's this, do this. So he's not actually figuring it out in the moment. He's actually being coached up and it takes it away from martial arts and makes it more like a sport. I don't know.
Well, you got to live within the rules of the sport.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I mean, yeah. So that also gives way for gamemanship. Like I've got to think, well, if I'm going to hold him, if I want to take him down, I got to take him down early because if I take him down too late, I'm not going to have the time to get to the things that I want to do. There's a lot to it. I personally didn't think it was as close as people are saying. I feel like, but I'm super biased.
I don't want him to immediately go to a rematch. I'm tired of like immediate rematches. I want to see Duplessis fight Adesanya next.
Oh, yeah.
They're talking about Strickland fighting Hamzat.
Yeah, I don't like seeing the immediate rematch. Like mix it up a little bit.
I'm with you. I hate the immediate rematch. You're like,
know?
we just watched this.
You know, it's
Plus,
too
everybody
repetitive.
on YouTube agreed with me that Strickland got lucky beating Adesanya anyway. I mean,
Oh, yeah?
pure luck that he beat him the first time.
5 rounds of beating his ass. Yeah, that sounds lucky.
But I think Adesanya, the big problem with Adesanya, I think he's going to get his ass whipped by Dricus because Dricus is just a pressure pusher.
Yeah.
And Adesanya, he's a counter fighter. He'll wait there, but he's just too big for him.
Yeah, the only thing I could see is he catches him on the chin, like that Whitaker knockout, like, because he is precise, bro. That's the thing.
But he's not. I mean, Dricus has shown that he's so strong. I mean, Strickland was precise. That jab didn't miss, basically.
Yeah, that was pretty nasty. Then Chris Curtis, you want to break down that fight? That was your boy?
That's what. Yeah, the Sneako effect was
On
was in
point
full swing.
last night, dude.
So,
3-0.
last night, I wanted 3 fighters. I called 3 fights. I wanted Chris to win. I wanted Movsar to win, and I wanted Duplessis to win because Chris was very kind. He taught me how to do a rear naked choke. We got to train together. He was cool. Movsar invited me to the gym and taught me how to do takedowns and how to do trips, stuff like that. I met Strickland and he was, he made a diss about me on his Instagram. So I was like, okay,
Forget you then.
I wouldn't mind if Duplessis won, that'd be nice to not see him as champion. But and went 3 for 3. And Chris, shout out to him. He did really well. That was a brutal fight. They got really tired at the end. Like they look big for 185. Like that looked like a heavyweight fight. But yeah, Chris did well, and he's getting up there too. He moves like a young guy, talks like a young guy, but I think he's older than you. He's like 36, something like that.
Damn, dude, that's old as shit.
Yeah,
bro.
Oh my gosh! If I'm ever 36, I'm gonna jump off a bridge.
I didn't know he's older, bro. But yeah, I mean that was a wild.
It was
fight.
an old card. It was all like people in their 30s, pretty.
That is true. Yeah, the youngest guys were the 29-year-olds, Arnold and Eveway. What about that fight, bro?
Yeah, though, definitely. But yeah, the Sneako effect was there. So just like next time you guys have a fight, you want to keep me on the team.
Keep Sneako happy.
Yeah. Hey,
put him in the corner. It's like
I'll start texting you like, hey, what are my picks when I'm betting against Kyle? I'm like, who did you take? When I took Strickland and I saw Drake put on Strickland, I was like, damn it, I'm losing.
The Drake effect is the opposite of the Sneako effect.
Yeah.
It's a guaranteed loss.
And then that Caitlin Neal girl, she picked Strickland too. And then we bet losers got to jump in a frozen river at home
Back in Utah.
In Utah, so I have to go.
Ramsey has to go do an ice bath in the Provo River.
Yeah.
Horrible. Well, I'll tell you, last night, so me and Ramsey would come out of Utah. I mean, Ramsey's had more of a nightlife life beforehand. I think he's kind of chilled out now that he's gotten older. But I'll tell you, that restaurant, my autism was in full swing. That was the loudest music. I was like, how is it? Honestly, were you guys enjoying being in that loud music? I need to gauge the young people.
I got to be honest,
was that a good time?
You might actually be autistic because I didn't even realize the music.
He is, bro. He is.
I never clocked. I never registered once that the music was loud.
Oh my gosh! I wanted to go jump into the river outside. I was struggling so bad.
Yeah.
I had to keep stretching out my bed. Leave these young kids. I gotta get out of here.
I was with you. I'm not gonna lie. When the music would go on, I was like,
really?
Oh yeah, bro. It was so loud for me.
I didn't realize that at all.
You're old, bitch.
I turned down my hearing aid and it was still too loud.
I had to go outside, call my wife, and she's like, "Where are you? Are you at a nightclub?" I was like, "No, it's a restaurant." She's like, "What?"
I was in Boston a couple weeks ago with my wife. We walked into this like really well reviewed restaurant. Walk in, the music was too loud. I was like, dude, we gotta get out of here. So it must be just a us problem because everybody else was having a great time. The Packers game was on. They were screaming their heads off in there. Tell us what the Miami life is for you, Sneako. Tell us what you enjoy about it. Tell us what you wish was different out here. Tell us what the future is.
Everybody's here. It's definitely the new LA. I think GTA 6 kind of solidified that. GTA 5 was LA 2013. Then everybody wants LA, and now it's getting oversaturated and demonic completely. So everyone's leaving.
Yeah.
But here is the place where everybody's doing stuff like this is coming here. I think there's a lot of motion. If you're into the nightlife thing, it's definitely here. But I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, good weather. You know, I could walk around my gun everywhere.
Hell yeah.
Good
Yeah,
taxes.
America. Same with Utah. You don't even need a concealed out
Idaho,
there.
you should
But then you got to live in Utah.
Yeah,
No,
that's
Utah's
true.
awesome. I'm telling you, you come out to Utah, you're like, this is insane.
Well, what's good about Utah? Miami, there's so many. Like, look, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful place, man.
Bro, honestly,
So many
Utah is really beautiful.
Like they came out for All-Star Weekend last year, and even though the players were wild.
I don't like being landlocked.
Yeah.
It's just weird being in the middle of like a bunch of land.
Well, you'll come visit and we'll show you a good time, deal? Because
Yeah.
there's like big ass lakes.
You don't feel like you're trapped there? Like, well, when I'm just landlocked, though, it just
Yeah.
Awesome. We're
I'm stuck in
close
a
to
farm.
Vegas. It's in the mountains.
It's a 40-minute flight though to California. And honestly,
really?
yeah, I used to live in California, and it'd be like 3 hours for me to drive to the beach, right? For you too.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's
then-
not bad.
And then now we just go to John Wayne Pars, or the John Wayne, not Par, that's the Muay Thai guy.
Yeah.
John Wayne Airport, and you're like at the beach in an hour.
Yeah, it is.
And it's for us, it's like $100. So
Plus, first of all, you get to watch. It's very red, so everybody's got guns. In Idaho, you had that homesteader on the other day from Idaho.
Owen Benjamin.
Owen Benjamin.
Yeah.
You were streaming with them in Idaho. When you walk into the airport in Boise, you can't. There's an unbelievable amount of signs saying "Leave your gun in the car," "No guns," because everybody has guns over there. And the places that have the most guns are actually the safest because
100%.
when you go to places that don't allow guns, then all the law-abiding citizens don't have
And
guns.
just criminals do, yeah.
Yeah, and just the criminals. So yeah, it's just very safe in Utah. It feels good.
Yeah, it's beautiful, but I also understand what you're saying. Like you grew up in California too. On the
I'll be
beach.
honest. If I was a 25-year-old dude not married, then I'd love to live in
Yeah.
a place like this. You'll see as you're getting older and getting a family, it's like, oh well, I don't need so much of that.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a weird complaint, but I would say the one thing that I don't like about Miami, it's just so weird, is like just how many beautiful women there are. Like just walking over, like
I actually
literally
haven't had a problem with that. I've enjoyed that.
walking over here, there's so much ass, and it just takes my mind. It just like sucks away some sort of energy. I wish that there were like Utah women out here, like just ugly, like, you know.
No, Utah women are the most beautiful,
Beautiful, bro.
I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
I swear on my
we
life,
can't
dude.
tell people that.
What
Utah
women are women? The hottest women will come here to get wifed up by a millionaire.
No,
bro.
you don't know. I'm telling you, in Utah,
Yeah.
we got
Women aren't moving to Utah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, you're right.
People
Okay, you're right. Don't
yeah.
come.
Here's the thing. Utah sucks. Don't move
Yeah,
there.
don't move there.
That's what we have.
Really?
No,
No, be
come,
honest.
yeah.
What women are flying to Utah to get wifed up?
Oh my goodness, dude.
They are.
Listen, you're
is there
right.
money in
We don't
Utah?
wanna-
Yeah.
We don't
Oh,
want
yeah.
to blow the spot. So you're right, but I'm telling you, if you come out to Utah, it is going to change your
Your
life.
opinion on
Yeah,
it, bro.
dude.
And then out here, everyone wants to be wifed up by, this millionaire guy or, like have this like
But what did
Louis
you say
Vuitton kind of
what did
life.
you say last night? There's no wives in Miami, right?
Yeah, true.
But in Utah, everyone's dream is like, I want to be married and a stay-at-home wife.
And they're beautiful.
And they're beautiful, dude.
Okay.
So-
and too, because like the huge Mormon influence in Utah, a lot of Mormons are in LA. So you get a ton of like yourself, like Southern California. So a lot of people joke, it's like literally the California almost. Like literally you are in a California
Yeah,
state.
but with a conservative vibe, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I
Well,
could scoop up a Mormon girl, turn her Muslim.
Well, that'd be tough.
You don't have to convert them.
Yeah,
As it
it's tough
says,
because-
if you marry,
People of the book, yeah.
as long as they're the book,
The
She'll
thing
convert.
is,
Yeah.
Mormon is a lot like Muslim in that would be hard to convert a Muslim to something else because it's so ingrained in your culture. Same for LDS people.
My mom's Mormon and my
Yeah.
dad was Muslim. But obviously everyone's always like, oh my God, that's crazy. And they got divorced, but it was because of other shit, nothing to do with, religion. But really they were very conservative. They both had, no one drank in the house. You know what I mean?
But being a member, so it's the church is actually called the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It's a cultural thing too, as much as Islam is a religion, but it's also part of your culture. It's the food you eat, the way you talk, it's all those things. Same in the LDS religion. So
Yeah.
you'll have to come out.
and even if they're not like LDS, the culture is to be a stay-at-home mom. Like
Yeah.
that's literally our culture. Is like everyone's like, I mean, there are women that work,
Family-oriented.
but yeah, it's very family oriented.
Because also too, practice celibacy and things. People get married young, so you got an incredible amount of hot moms.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
they're
yeah.
just young and they're moms.
MILF Central.
Dude, I'll tell you what, my wife, hello MILF.
Yeah, mine too, bro. She's a fucking 10, you know? And, and that's actually funny. Is like, Luke Rockhold.
No.
The fighter.
He fought also in bare knuckle.
Paulo Costa. But anyways, he's like one of my friends, and when he came out to Utah, he was like, you know, he's from LA. He was a male model, LA scene. He was like, where are we? Like, because there's this beautiful women everywhere. He's like, what the fuck is this place?
Take you up to Park City. It's all
That's where I took him.
billionaires.
We went to Park City. He was like, what is this place, man?
You're selling me on Utah.
Yeah,
It is, man.
You do a good
Utah
sales
is
pitch.
also where Bucked Up is based. Big shout out to Bucked Up,
Yes,
who is
sir.
sponsoring this podcast.
Yeah, shout out to Bucked Up. Grab it on the intro.
No, you're good. But honestly, dude, Sneako, this has been an incredible amount of fun. I love seeing guys get to experience the beginning of jiu-jitsu and boxing and all those things because I love sucking at something and getting the opportunity to learn and grow. And
You think I suck?
you weren't great. I'm just playing. But as a beginner, awesome. But everybody sucks when they come in brand new. I mean, you see that boxing, and you'll see it'll feel like I always tell Ramsey. In fact, we're going to go train today. You should tell Ramsey, hey, listen, give me a minute of full speed because the difference between training and full speed it's going to blow your mind. But honestly, what I'll say is I've been incredibly impressed watching you be out there, do the cardio. For me, I do the cardio for like 2 minutes, and I go puke in the trash can.
Literally, bro.
You were like, oh, can we go train again? And
Like,
again?
you know that
You
little
got the passion.
cardio workout we finished with?
Yeah, the sprints.
Yeah, he won't even get through, the bag work and
yeah,
the other
the
one.
drop and all
yeah,
that.
he won't even get through the 30-second.
Oh, dude, I was puking my guts out.
Yeah, you was, bro.
Dude, dedicated. Honestly, it's been a lot of fun having you on here. I don't even usually I have people shout out their socials, but everybody knows your stuff. So thanks for being a part of it. We're incredibly glad
Thanks for having
to be hanging out with you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in, watching Sneako here on the Coach and the Casual. Watch all the clips. Big thanks to Bucked Up. Let's go get it. Thanks for tuning into the Coach and the Casual. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, and share it with your friends. Thanks again.